Smile. Yes, smile. Because I did even when my life was on fire. Literally. I'm here for a challenge today. Not for me, but for you sitting here. Think of the hardest day of your life. Now imagine facing it. At 13, in a Burns ward with 11,000 volts of electricity having just gone through your body. And when you wake up, you don't just lose a hand, you lose your old life, you lose your childhood, you lose your idea of normal, you lose your everything. I'm sure you would call this the most bad incident of my life, or maybe you would say, how unfortunate, a poor girl. What if? I tell you, I call this the best incident of my life. Sounds weird, right? That who calls a life-threatening accident the best incident of their life? I do. Because I didn't just survive, I rewired because of it. Hi, I'm Anamta, and I'm not here to tell you a soap story, but I'm here to tell you how I found strength. And I'm here to tell you that real strength doesn't show up when life is easy. It shows up when life tries to shut your button down, but you refuse to shut down and you rewire yourself. I clearly remember the day, October 30, 2022. It was a very random day I was playing on the terrace of my relative's house. Suddenly, I got blanked out. I could hear vibrations. I didn't know what was happening with me. I became unconscious. When I opened my eyes, I saw everyone crying, my loved ones, my family screaming. And all I could smell was something burning, a burning smell, a strong burning smell. When I looked down, my hands. My hands were burnt, skins were melting, skins were coming off, totally unrecognizable. I can't even tell you how horrifying it was. We went from hospitals to hospital, Delhi to Mumbai, everywhere. All the doctors had the same thing to say. We have to amputate her right hand. And on 3rd November, just like that, it was gone. When I saw my amputated right hand for the first time, I cried, I screamed, I blamed my parents, I broke down completely. But you know what? Sometimes the only way to break through is breaking down. I was admitted in a Burns hospital. I was in a Burns ward. I was in a transparent room where I could see all the other patients around me. Some had their faces burned, their bodies burned, and even all their limbs gone. That's when it hit me. I've just lost one hand. I have both my legs, my left hand, a little weak, but still I have it. And I can do whatever I want. That's when I realized I will never give up no matter what happens. You think one amputation was enough? My right hand had to be cut 3 times. Again and again and again. And by the 3rd surgery, I told the doctors, "Ab bas karo bhai," because I was so done with the amputation. Now, the best day of my life came. After 2 months of being admitted in the hospital, the day of discharge. After 3 grueling surgeries and uncountable painful dressings, I meant it, painful dressings. The first thing the psychiatrist told me, do not take Anamta to the crowded places because she's just 13, she's just lost an external organ. And if people ask her something, she can go into depression. And I heard what she said. Just like a good, obedient girl, the first place I went was not my home, but the most crowded restaurant I could ever find. People were staring at me. Obviously, they would. Some even laughed. You know what? I laughed back twice as hard at them because I had accepted what I am. I refused to give up. I had self-belief. When I reached home, I wrote with my weak left hand, Caution, no sympathy. I did not want anybody to sympathize me. I know what I am, and I have accepted what I am. And I know I'm the strongest right now. There were many incidents that happened with me at that time, but I took the incidents to the positive way. Let me give you an example. I was standing outside the lift with the hand gone. And I saw one of the kid with his mom came and then he asked his mom, "Mama, iska हाथ किधर गया?" And I told him, "मेरा हाथ garden में walk करने गया है, अभी जल्दी वापस आने वाला है." That's how you take things to the positive side. And you think the challenges were gone? No, my left hand. The doctor said you have to come again for another surgery of your left hand because it was only 15-20% functional. That's when I realized I'm so done. I'm not going back again to the place where I have survived. Now, I decided that I wanted to make my left hand functional anyhow. I practiced every day, I exercised, went to physiotherapy, and when after 2 months I went to the doctor, he said, "It's a miracle that your left hand has started to work without the surgery." I told doctor, "Don't worry, it's just some strength and some DIY." Sounds a little off, right? Even when I thought about my own story, it sounded different to me too. Now, I was a proud righty. I had to learn to do everything from my left hand. You know, literally everything, buttoning, typing, and swimming, dancing, because I used to love swimming and dancing. I used to love it. And of course, preparing for my board exams. It was August by then that when it hit me that I have to start preparing for my board exams. I have 10th this year. I went to the school, they were very welcoming, but 80% of the syllabus was already completed. I didn't wanted anybody to say that it's fine if she gets less marks. She has lost her hand. Poor girl. Because caution, no sympathy. I had never studied this hard before, to be honest. I studied day and night, practiced every day, and the results flashed out. 92% overall and 98% in Hindi. From recovery to being a creator, making beauty videos, dancing videos, motivational videos, and one day, a music video, Phool Pari, written by Piyush Mishra ji himself. You know, there's one line in my song, "एक हाथ गया तो हुआ यार क्या मंजिल अपनी पाऊंगी." Even if I've lost a hand, it's fine. Nothing can affect you. A message popped up one day, the day that changed my life, my entire life, from Dr. Nilesh Sadbhai. There's a surgery called upper limb transplants, but it's very complicated and you can face many complications. It's a long hour surgery. I told doctor, I have fought 11,000 volts of electricity and you think I'm scared of such a scalpel? I'm ready for this surgery. And one day, the call came. A girl from Surat, brain dead, had donated her organs. And one of those gifts was for me. Ladies and gentlemen, my hand is back. And I stand before you as the first under 18 in the whole world to get an upper limb hand transplant done. Thanks a lot to that little angel who donated her organs, Dr. Nilesh Sadbhai and his whole team, and Donate Life organization. And above all, the refusal to give up. Here's what I learned. You don't need pity, you need purpose. And you can turn sympathy into self-belief. You can turn a burned hand into a burning passion to rise. Nothing can stop you because a fighter is always a fighter. No matter how many obstacles you face in your life, you can fight with it if you have the willpower to do it. I hope by my journey you have got the message that with right determination, courage, strength, right support, and of course, self-belief, you can fight with any obstacle in your life, no matter how difficult it is. And above all, never give up. So next time, when life hits you, don't ask, why me? Say, what now? Look in the mirror and say, I can do it, no matter what. Last but not the least, I would like to say, next time when life hits you, don't shut down. Instead, rewire your mindset. And remember, be a warrior, not a worrier. Thank you, everyone.